To show you some interesting I had regarding compilation of the header file. Remember that when you do multi-file project for make utility, for each class you make a .h file and .cpp file. I told you do not compile this one. This one is only for information. It does not create any information only. It does not create any executable code by the CPU, but it's just a definition and specification and so on. You can compile CPP file only, but it seems like that there's another speed up mechanism that you can pre-compile .h file so that next time you compile .cpp, instead of including the .h again, just a pre-compiled version is used. That's how GNU compiler works. So if you accidentally compile .h not knowing that something called the pre-compiled header exists, you have a very interesting thing happening. We have no clue. So I did not know this kind of feature existing myself until one of you came to my office yesterday. What I mean by that is that this is coin and piggy bank one. So in Makefile, you never ever compile .h file. .h file is only for information. Any dependencies like to coin.o is produced out of .coin.cpp. To do so, information.h is needed and so on. So only .cpp files are compiled. However, if you compile coin.h accidentally or intently, if you compile it, the GNU compiler offers a pre-compiled accelerated compilation feature. If you do so, what you get is a coin.h.gch is a pre-compiled header file. Well, what it means is that the .h is a source program. It is a pre-compiled for .cpp next time. Instead of reading the source code, the text file again, this is just a intermediately pre-compiled what is used for compiling .cpp. So everything works fine. However, now let's edit coin.h where I want to add another variable. And then I use that another variable, so happen to be v. So let me change it. .h file is a v2 member variable, and .cpp, let me use this one. Then I compile it. Everything looks okay, but if I compile it as a D2 is not declared. But for sure, I declared the v2 as a member variable here, and I used it. But it says v2 is not declared. The reason is if pre-compiled .h file exists, the compiler uses a pre-compiled one instead of using .h again. So that's the one. So when you use a Linux account, if you don't intently use a pre-compiled version, which is strongly discouraged to you, just make sure that in your directory, not GCH file never exists, which will disrupt the compilations. If I remove that now, coin is recompiled. So everything works fine. So if you accidentally compile .h file, which is not intended, then such kind of a thing happens. But if you use a Visual Studio, this will never happen. Okay? Visual Studio internally takes care of everything for you. Just if you do something manually in Linux account, not understanding all the mechanisms, this kind of a weird thing happen. Question about that?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you compile a header like that, can you then include it in brackets instead of, does it add it to your library?
No.
Okay, it's not like,
No.
I was thinking in Ada, when you compile a
But that H
package
file,
specification, it adds a package to your library available.
No,
to
it's
use
a-
with a with statement.
no, it's not the
It's
one.
not similar to that.
But that H file, you never compile it to generate execution code. But here is just a speed up feature of the if you have a huge header file. Do you have a question there? Any question? So it's if you have a huge .h file, you have suppose you have millions of items defined there. So this kind of thing will accelerate the whole compilation. But you are not going to deal with that kind of thing. So let's not use a precompiled header file. Okay.